Cape Cod, and he says hello, and he's aboard here, and he's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Sal, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Hello, Christopher.
Yes, Sal. Nice to talk. What's on your mind?
What a great show. Christopher, no, it's not Sal. This is Charles from Cape Cod.
Oh, Charles from Cape Cod. You haven't heard from me in a while, Charles. How are you today, buddy? What's going on?
Christopher, that was a class act interview that you just did, and you are right. I mean, you should be. That was a great, great thing, Christopher, because they've got a wonderful squad, and the clubs that they've played with for so long, they've had some great squads there. And the thing that I was thrilled about that you were looking to see from him what the input is on the coaching staff right now. They've got, Christopher, probably one of the greatest coaches right now in the whole NBA.
No, there's no question about that. He's great.
And the thing that concerns us, Christopher, is how long they're going to be able to keep him here. Because when there's a solid college,
well, where's he going to go? I mean, where's he going? He didn't go to he didn't go to Indiana. That you could make the argument he'd go back there. I mean, how many jobs? How many jobs in college? I mean, you're telling me North Carolina and Duke. I mean, how many? He's not going to UCLA. Where's he going?
The thing that they're saying, Christopher, and I don't know if it's true or not, but they're saying now, when the time comes for Coach K to call it quits, that he is the one that's going to slide in, Chris.
I don't see that. I don't know where Duke will go for a coach. I know Capel's sitting there. I don't know what they're going to do. I would be surprised. If you're Brad Stevens, I don't see how you can go anywhere else. Why would you go anywhere else? I mean, again, there's no college job. I mean, college basketball, the one and dones. I mean, outside of 4 or 5 locations, Indiana's one of them. They just brought Archie Miller in. Obviously, Duke, Carolina. There's a couple, but I mean, overall, there's not many at all. I mean, you wouldn't want to coach college basketball, all the mess and the AAU stuff and the recruit. Who wants to do that? I mean, he's in a perfect spot. Listen, it's a lot of games. It's 82 games. I know I've heard all the issues about his wife doesn't like Boston. I tell you, he's in a great spot. I don't know how you wouldn't want to. I don't know why you want to leave the Celtics. I really don't. They pay him plenty. I mean, they pay him as much as any college team is going to pay him. Mike in San Francisco, Mad Dog Unleashed. Mike, good afternoon. How are you today, pal?
I'm doing all right, Chris. Hey, before I mentioned about JoJo, I love the interview with Tommy. I love Tommy Heinsohn now. I tried to catch a few games on the Celtics broadcast during the season.
Well, he's always moaning and groaning about the officials. He's fun to listen to about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think you remember when him and Dick Stockton, who were both sort of the Boston homers, announcing those games in the 80s, like those Laker-Celtic championship games in the 80s. They were, for me, as being a Laker fan, it was tough to take.
Well, they would always, we always used to talk about that. Heinsohn would say he'd get yelled in L.A., and then he went back to Boston. They would call him a traitor because they thought he was anti-Boston. So
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know Stockton was kind of he was a Boston guy, too, so it was a little tough to take. With JoJo, I love this game. One of the first series I remember, it was our second series. I started keeping up with the NBA in '75, but that '76 championship against against Phoenix, he was just an efficient player. He didn't seem like he used a lot of motion. He wasn't a kind of real fancy player, but I loved his jump shot. He was just an efficient player. In some ways, he reminded me of a player that came, a few years after him in Dennis Johnson. Just real efficient work. Wasn't a great shooter, but he was an efficient player, and he was one of my favorite players.
No, fun to watch. One thing about JoJo that you got to keep in mind in postseason play, he played very, very well. In the he played 80 postseason games. He averaged 21.5 in those games. He shot 45% from the field, no three-point line in those days. 45% from the field, 6 assists, a steal, and they don't have turnovers listed. I mean, that's a hell of a run. I mean, he averaged 23. In 75, 76, in those in 18 playoff games, he shot 45% and averaged 23 a game. That's not bad. We continue. Mad Dog Unleashed.
SiriusXM has a 24